Hello, this is Elaine with Spirit Whisperings, and I'd like to show you two different ways that I activate grids. I have kind of an informal way and a formal way, and I'd like to show you the difference between them and kind of give you an idea of when I use one or when I use the other. We're going to be using this World Healing Grid, which comes from one of our layout cards. And I like to bring this grid out anytime I'm wanting to send healing out into the world. So it's a really good one to use, for the different types of activation. Now, activation is just getting the stones all to talk together and the grid to talk together so that you can have it become, well, like it says, makes it active, makes it working. And it's what you do after you clean your stones and after you lay them out in the pattern that you want. And then another little spark of energy is just to activate it and say, okay, now it's time to work. And so to tell it that it's time to work, sometimes I use a very informal way of doing it. And I talk about that being beaming energy, and talk about it from beaming from the palms of your hands. Everybody is an energetic being, and everybody has the ability to do this. Some people have training through Reiki or pranic healing or different types of energy fields that kind of give you a little bit better idea of what's going on with it. But just understand that you're able to take in energy into your body. You're able to beam it out through your palm chakras. And so when we say beam, it's just simply aiming your palms at the grid. And then it's usually a fairly simple, for me, it's a fairly simple type of an activation. So I might be just something simply as saying, I activate this sacred stone grid to send healing out into the world. And it might be something very simple. Now, sometimes, whether it's just because maybe you're in ceremony with other people, or maybe it's something that you just feel that the situation that you're doing calls for something a little bit more serious. Maybe it's something that there's a disaster or something going on in the world and I'm looking to send energy to that specific place. I can't really tell you when I'm called to do it and when not. It's very much an intuitive thing with me. But sometimes I feel like it's important to do something a little more formal. And it's a little more formal by inviting in the specific helpers. I could be inviting in the angels, or I could be inviting in totem animals. I could be doing something going to the different directions. Whatever I'm called to be doing, it could be something that's a little bit more formal. And that's when I use a wand and I do a little bit more of a formal activation. And this can be done without words or with words. And I'm going to show you what it looks like without words at first. And so you'll start with a point with a wand, whatever wand you choose to use. And you start at the point in the center. And then you're going to go up and then to the side and back down. And you're going to go down every line of the grid until the whole grid has been covered. And so you're just going to go over one row and then down to the center and back up, over a row, until the whole and then come back to the center and come out. This one I like to do a lot of times when I'm using a point. As you can see, this is a point, crystal point, because a crystal point is a directional energy. And so the formal activation might be something when I'm doing something along the lines of, I can do this activation, and then I can say I'm inviting all the angels, I'm inviting all the helpers, I'm inviting the grandparents, I'm inviting the buffalo, I'm inviting whoever I'm inviting in to gather the energy of these rocks and to direct this through the point. And I can go to whatever direction that I'm going, where I'm going to Japan, or I'm going to the Midwest, or I'm going to wherever I'm going, and ask the energy to be sent there. And I would sometimes do that with a very formal activation. But it's just kind of your choice. It's what you feel. Do you just feel like a simple beaming, or do you want to do something very formal with the wand to activate your grids? And that's how I do it. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.